All right, this is your week 8 starts of the week.
All right, so for our week 8 starts of the week, we're going to go ahead and kick things off with quarterback. Jay, I'll let you start.
My quarterback is Kirk Cousins. They're playing Dallas. He actually ended up being projected higher than I thought going into it, just because of the matchup. He's not been bad, but I think there's the shootout. There's going to be a shootout down there with the Vikings and the Cowboys, and I know Dak will be a highly sought after QB or the guy you have to play. So I'm looking for the same out of Kirk Cousins because I will throw the ball to keep up with the Cowboys. So that's my quarterback for week 8, start of the week.
Yep, I'm right there with you. It's going to be a shootout there. So my quarterback start of the week is Carson Wentz. Again, like I said, when we go over these are based off of Fantasy Pros projections for where they're at and we feel they're going to finish better than they were. Kirk Cousins is projected to be number 9. Carson Wentz is the projected 18 overall quarterback. He's going up against Tennessee. The same reasons I had for Trevor Lawrence a few weeks ago. That defense is terrible. I do feel like Tennessee's going to win the game, but that being said, this should be a shootout. They showed us what they did against San Francisco, that they can put up offensive points as well. Michael Pittman's starting to step into his own, and I'm really liking the direction this offense is headed. And so I think Carson Wentz should definitely finish a lot higher than the quarterback 18. So moving on to running back here. My running back start of the week is Joe Mixon going up against the Jets. The only reason I picked Joe Mixon, this one sounds obvious if you're like me and you hear Jets and you're like, well, yeah, of course. For whatever reason, in both Sleeper and on the Fantasy Pros projections, he was projected to be the RB11, and I think he's got a very good shot at finishing like top 4, top 5 this week because of the Jets simply being so easy to run the ball on. So my start of the week is Joe Mixon against the Jets.
So my running back for this week is Chuba Hubbard, running back for Carolina, handcuff or whatever for CMC at this point. So he is projected to be finished at running back 14. I think the Atlanta game is going to be a good game for him. I think in some rankings he is a little bit higher than 14, which makes sense. I think it'll be a strong game. They're figuring things out with quarterback, offense, all that stuff. So I think they go back to what they know, which is ironically enough a CMC based offense. And so I think their playbook will fill in a lot of Chuba work for him, which may not be as much variety and pass catching that they would have for CMC, but I think that's kind of the foundation of their system. And with all the uncertainty, they kind of go back to what they know. And he's done a pretty good job of being kind of a budget CMC for production wise, even though definitely not nearly as talented, but I think in the end, it'll get you a nice fantasy performance this week. And then now moving on to my wide receiver, I'm going back to my guy, Antonio Brown.
Quickly before Jay continues about Antonio Brown, this was recorded when we were still kind of in the unknown as to what his injury really looked like, and we thought he might have been back this week. Things are starting to trend towards now he's not going to be playing possibly for multiple weeks. So Jay did want me to include this caveat that if he is out, he basically translates everything he said right over to Chris Godwin as his start of the week. So just keep that in mind. Everything you're hearing here, if Antonio Brown does not play, his start of the week is Chris Godwin instead.
Coming off of the injury, for some reason, I just feel like Brady likes to target him, and I think he was itching for last week and wasn't able to play. And so he's projected to be wide receiver 33 right now, and I think he'll outperform that. I mean, he's outperforming everything he's been throwing at for the last couple of weeks, except for the week right before he got hurt, to where we finally said, AB is really doing it. Now he's back down after the big week from Evans, and I think I've not seen Tampa Bay have back-to-back weeks with the same guy exactly, so I think Antonio Brown will be heavily targeted against New Orleans, just this middle of the field, causing some chaos for that secondary. So I don't know if Lattimore will. I don't think Lattimore will be on him. I think Lattimore will take Evans or Godwin for the most part, and so I think that'll open it up for Antonio Brown.
Oh, that's what I was about to say. Was for reasons not listed, Antonio Brown should be featured here because Mike Evans is going up against his dad, Marshawn Lattimore, this week. That is a rivalry that has been established since Lattimore has been in the league. He has absolutely shut down Evans every single time that they play. If anybody knows everything Evans is trying to do, it's Lattimore. So you can pretty much write Lattimore off every time they play this, or Evans off every time they play the Saints. So then it becomes Who's going to get it more? Is it going to be Godwin or is it going to be Brown? And for whatever reason, it seems like any offense that's produced out of the Saints are these bombs. And so I feel like Bucks are going to turn right around and do the same thing. And of the two, Brown should be the one receiving those bombs. And he always, because of the talent on this team, finds himself just wide open 30 yards down the field for whatever reason. So I'm fully co-signing Antonio Brown. He should be a great, great start this week. So my wide receiver start of the week is Keenan Allen. I think it's finally that week for him to bounce back into what we all know he is. He is projected to be – Antonio Brown was projected to be the wide receiver 33 on the week, by the way. Keenan Allen is projected to be the wide receiver 23. They're going up against New England, a team that is struggling right now, just lost their best corner for the rest of the year with shoulder surgery, I believe it was. And so you've got openings everywhere. And we all know the Belichick rule. He's going to eliminate your best offensive piece. That thus far has not been Keenan Allen. He's either going to do Mike Williams or he's going to do Eckler. More likely than not, it's going to be Eckler. But we'll see how things pan out. But I can see a world where, because the way he's trying to restrict it is Eckler's receiving work, that's a lot simpler than trying to eliminate the best wide receiver on a team. So he could just simply throw a tight end or a linebacker to try and follow and all the little dump off routes. And so that would still allow him to then, okay, let me try to get real creative here and take out your second option too, which would be Mike Williams. And I just think this is going to be a game where Keenan Allen finds himself open the whole time. And so I don't think they have anybody across the middle of the field that's going to be able to keep up with Allen through this game. And so I look for him to have a really, really good game. Kind of fits that same offensive role that you see CeeDee Lamb have, and he went off on New England last week. So I think this is going to be a big week for Keenan Allen. He's going to hopefully deliver. He's projected as low as the 23 right now. I think he could finish as a wide receiver 1 this week. So moving on to our last set, which is our tight ends. Unfortunately, I'm playing that game where, as Jay said, I'm chasing the New England tight ends and bouncing back and forth. I'm not going to be bouncing back and forth if any of them pop back up again, because it is clearly Hunter Henry. He is the tight end to have in New England. It's not just who's the better of the two bad tight ends. He's actually been a very, very good tight end this season. And this is a revenge game going back against the Chargers. And again, I just think this is a good matchup for him, because he is not – the Patriots do not have a whole lot to choose from. It's kind of let me pass it around as much as I can on a one consistent piece, especially at the goal line, has been Hunter Henry, and he's projected to be the tight end 12. I don't think he's going to blow up and be like the 1 or anything like that, but I definitely think he's going to finish as better or at least the tight end 12, which consistency is all you're searching for here. And so I think Hunter Henry has got a good week ahead of him going back to the Chargers, and or at least against them again. And so he is my start of the week at tight end.
Yeah, so my start tight end is CJ Uzomah. He had a great week last week, and I think people are going to kind of balance out and say it was a fluke. And I don't know that CJ is going to have that production throughout the season, but I think with all of the focus being on Jamar Chase, his excellence, and then the number of targets going to T. Higgins, that the Jets defense is going to try to center on someone and something to try to slow them down this week. Don't think they'll do that very well, but I think that'll open up CJ Uzomah the same way it did in the past week, just with hyper focusing, double covering, pulling safety over. Mixon will be working on the ground, so a lot of play action from Burrow. And I think he'll have a great week. He's projected to be the tight end 14, and I think he'll outperform that. I don't know how long that will be a viable guy to go to down the stretch, but for right now, I would keep rolling with the CJ Uzomah train while we can. So that's my tight end start of the week.
All right, everybody, that has been our week 8 starts of the week. Hopefully you guys all have great weeks in fantasy so far. It's been a absolute rocky road for everyone, seems like, this season. And so hopefully better times are ahead for everyone. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell to see any time that we upload. You can follow us on Twitter. Handles right below us here. At DallasFFO, at Pick on the Block, and at the FF Outpost on Twitter. Hit us up if you got any questions about anything. Make sure you drop a like. Helps us a bunch. And again, thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one.
See you guys.
Bye.